start the episode, please.
Hey, I'm Brittany.
I'm Nicole.
And we're those girls. Welcome to episode 32 of our podcast. Today, we have Kristen Gomes with The Wandering Poor. Kristen, hi.
Hi. Thank you so much for having me here. Thank you, Nicole, for the invite.
Of course.
Brittany, great setup. Excited to get this started.
Yeah.
Super excited.
So we met through, I feel like it always comes back to real estate somehow.
Yes.
We met through my really good friend and your friend, Katrina, who I used to work with at my other mortgage company.
Yes.
She's like, you got to talk to my girl. She has this new business. It's perfect. It's great. It's right up your alley because I used to do event planning. So tell us about how you got from real estate to the new company.
So it's been a journey.
I would imagine.
It always is. So I've been in real estate for 6 years, full time with my husband. And it's been a wonderful ride, but I just, after like right in the height of the pandemic market, I was starting to feel like pretty burnt out on the opposite sense. Like now we know how the market is currently. But when I was giving all my time to it, I wanted to take my time back. And in real estate, it's hard to do because your schedule is dictated by your clients, which I have loved for so long and still have a true respect for. But I pulled back from full-time to part-time. And I'm just like one of those crazy people that when I'm starting to feel burnt out, I'll add a ton more to my plate.
Of course. Because then you feel inadequate.
Yeah.
We overcompensate because, we feel like we're not doing what we should be doing.
Yeah. So I was trying to figure out what that block was that I was having. And I've always been a people person. I love being in front of people. And that's why I've thrived so well in real estate. But when I was trying to figure out how I can take my time back, I ended up picking up and going back into restaurants, bartending,
always
which
the
I
fallback.
love.
Me too.
And it gives me that excitement that there's always new people coming up and having those connections with. And I had an incredible summer last summer working for a high volume restaurant in New Bedford. But my favorite boss is myself. So
of course.
I was blending a lot of what I like, what I don't like, what I wanted to see, what I didn't want to see. And it wasn't until I was at an event locally to me, and I'm based in Fairhaven, Mass, that the event bar was subpar. The bartenders just weren't hitting the top tier for me and everything like that. So when I went and started doing research, it's like, what's around us that we could have this type of service? Because like working in a high volume industry or in a restaurant space, I got to see like what a great bartender is, what great teamwork is, and like the full circle of it. And so I wanted to see more in the event bar space because like being a small part of people's big moments is really where I love to be. And that's what's like pushed me in real estate and pushed me.
I was gonna say very similar to real estate.
Yeah,
like you're in it. And you get them to the finish line and then you're like, here you go.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So it's super fulfilling. So when I couldn't find anything in my area as to like what I wanted to see, I built it. So I launched the business. I formed the business in August last year. And we launched in February, and we just finished our 24th event.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Congrats.
That's
huge.
Thank you. So The Wandering Poor is a full-service mobile beverage caterer based in Fairhaven, Mass. We bring the bar, the staff, and all the non-alcoholic supplies. So I've built out 2 different bars. One is a horse trailer that I've converted into one of our mobile bars. And
super cool.
That is like our billboard, I tell everyone. And then our smaller one is the horse trailer is called the Patsy, and our smaller wooden bar is called the Ruby. And we've just been rocking and rolling all over the state and New England area. It's been great.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's been really cool. It really has. So
how did you name your bars? Is there like something behind the Patsy and the Ruby?
So the Patsy's kind of random, but
it's okay if there's no real meaning either. That's totally fine.
There is. So when we went to go find the horse trailer, like once I found out what type of rig I wanted to convert, and I'm a 6-foot woman, so a camper wasn't going to cut it for me. And neither was.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Okay. No, yeah, but you would have to take that into account.
Yeah. And I wanted it to be like a certain aesthetic. So to me, we have like modern, sleek lines that is able to fit in a lot of different themes for different events. So once I narrowed down what type of rig I wanted, then I was like going through the neurotic search of trying to find it. And my husband and I drove 2.5 hours away, and the horse farm that we picked it up from, one of the horses' names was Patsy. And I was like,
cute.
I just like
homage to that. And that, from your roots. That's cool.
Yeah. So then the Ruby, I have 3 dogs. I'm a huge dog lover. So Ruby is one of our dogs, so that's where the Ruby came from. So yes, eventually I will have 2 more named after the other 2 dogs.
Oh, you're setting it up.
I was gonna say though, like, why did you pick Ruby? What happened to the other ones?
Well, I love all my dogs. I love all my dogs, but I will say that my guy Yoshi, he's my honey. So Ruby's just I just love all of my dogs. So we're starting with Ruby, then we'll possibly go over to Penny. I'm trying to figure out how Yoshi fits into the mix. So
what kind of dog is Ruby?
I have 2 golden doodles. I'm sorry, I have 2 doodles. Ruby's the golden doodle, and then I have the sheepadoodle, which is Yoshi, and then I have a Boingle, which is a beagle pointer mix.
Oh,
Penny, so.
I love that.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that. I'm gonna look it up after now.
So I didn't know that sheepdoodles were a thing until I was on TikTok like a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so my husband is allergic to dogs.
Yeah.
And so we're in this like weird conundrum of like, this is the longest I haven't had an animal. And I was like, look, it's a sheepdoodle. And I really, 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 really want it.
She'll text me and be like, I'm mad this week. We're getting a dog.
So now I'm going to go down the road of what do you think the 2 different temperaments are between the golden doodle and the sheepdoodle?
Well, all 3 of my dogs are totally different. Penny, the Boingle, is my favorite by far. She's just the best girl in the world. Okay.
It's okay to have a favorite.
We won't let her listen.
Yeah, it's okay.
The other ones.
We tell her all the time. Because she's independent. She doesn't need as much love as everyone else. Like the doodles are just like up your butt, wicked needy. And like the difference between my golden doodle and my sheepadoodle is like my golden doodle commands attention and my sheepadoodle just wants attention.
Oh, okay.
So like he just she'll come over and like nudge your hand to pet her, and Yoshi will just like lay on you and be like, please love me.
Please love me. Okay.
Yeah. Like yesterday I was on the floor with the kids and he was on the couch behind me and he put his head over here. I was like, you're just the sweetest guy. But I also volunteer at my local shelter, so I see a ton of dogs. And there's a definite need for like older senior dogs, even younger dogs. Our shelter is like tons of dogs. Right? I was just there on Tuesday. So, but we do get puppies and everything, from puppies up to senior, and guinea pigs and birds and rabbits and cats. The temperaments that we get, every dog is going to be different, even if you get the same breed. Like one golden doodle to the other could be night and day. And we did have a golden doodle at our shelter for a long time, because she had some back end issues, but she ended up getting adopted out, which was great. Awesome. But you can find those types of dogs in shelters all the time. And it's been really cool to see them. So if you ever get that angry day, let me know.
I will definitely keep you in mind. I do have to
the next time I'm going to tell you to text her.
No, I do have to be like, to be kind to the allergy aspect 100%, or we would have 35 dogs from a shelter at this point.
Yeah, me too.
But like, like I just would.
That's my goal for a house. I'm going to have I want to do the elderly dogs, all of them.
Right. Yeah. But we definitely would rather adopt than shop
No
out.
pressure. I'm not coming over here.
No, see, connections.
Oh no.
Connections.
I'll give you my address off
Drop it off.
And if you just like, if a dog just randomly shows up at my house,
that's
like
how I feel.
My kids aren't going to be disappointed. Neither am I.
Yeah, it's great. So when you do feel ready, and the allergies, I could literally take this 45 minutes to talk about dogs and animals and everything else. So.
We always go off on cats and dogs, and Al over there is like, guys, come on. But anyway, so go back to your business.
Yes.
So what is your favorite type of event or most common type of event? Because I did a little bit of a wedding planning and stuff like that. So what's like your your target or your favorite?
So all events are my favorite first and foremost, but we are primarily in the wedding industry. So we love doing weddings. We also do a lot with corporate events. But what I love about all of them is just seeing from the moment that they reach out with an inquiry and then getting to the execution is like learning so much about them and the event itself, and then seeing it all come together. Like that's where I love it. And I have a team of 6 bartenders that are a part of the team. And to be able to set them up and then bring it to the finish line and then see them thrive and have so much fun while they're out there, like it really fills my cup up all the way. So all types of events are great. So we'll do weddings, birthdays, private dinner parties. We can do intimate events all the way up to 350 or more.
That's
Cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's a very big.
Yes. And that was part of the reason why I knew going into this business that I wanted to build a team out so that we could do events of any size. And we did a 350 person golf tournament
congrats.
over the summer.
That's a
Thank
lot.
you. So
Yeah.
that was
Very
great.
nice.
That was a lot of fun.
Cool. I have a question about
Mhm.
you and the hubby. So you used to do real estate together.
Mhm.
Was that like good for your relationship to not do it together, or were you guys good either way?
So we actually met when we were both working in banking, and we said by the time that we left that we would never work together again. And then like life just happens, and we got married and we had a baby, and I ended up leaving banking, and then I wanted to get back into having my own income, and I fell into do I either want to do LuLaRoe or do I want to
Right.
actually
Thank
make
God.
money?
Thank God you didn't do LuLaRoe.
Right.
So ultimately I decided to get my real estate license, and he got it at the same time. And he was still working in banking while I was trying to do real estate full time. And then in 2019, he ended up coming on full time
Nice.
real estate, which was great because that was like pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
And then whenever the world shut down, we were already used to working together.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more communication that goes into it when you're working with your spouse. I do feel that we work great together because his strengths are different than my strengths, and we both complement each other very well. When you're working in a high sales and high like stakes environment like real estate, that there's no other income coming in but that until and it's not closed until it closes.
That income is not guaranteed.
Yes,
never.
So like that definitely puts a different dynamic on it when you're working with your spouse in the same industry like that. But we've always enjoyed it. So I would just suggest if anyone else does it, make sure you guys your communication's on lock.
So
Brittany knows about this.
I know
Her
it.
and her husband.
So my
Yeah,
husband
tell
and
her a
I
little bit.
do the same thing. So it's definitely a different world when you're together 24/7 and you're raising kids together, and you're literally like, hey, is that gonna close? Because like we need income, you know, like you know, and it's no like. It's almost like a pointing fingers type thing, a little bit. Like, you know, like, is this happening? Is it not happening? Or, you know, so it's very, very different than a lot of what people go through, especially in relationships. It puts strain different. So to be able to do it and do it effectively is really cool.
Yeah, it's been great. And in the sense that he is just like so good at remembering things.
That is also
like
rare in a man.
His retention is like out of this world. So I tell everyone, like, we don't just look good on marketing and like networking and doing it. Like, he's the one that makes sure like all the I's are dotted, all the T's are crossed.
That's great.
So now that I've taken a step back and he's doing it, continuing
so he's
to
still
do it
doing
full-time,
it. Okay.
That he's just doing what he's always done. You're just not seeing me as much.
Yeah. Does he have a hand in the bar business too?
No, this is 100% mine. We had talked about it early on as to like which way we're going to go about it. And I just wanted to have full control. I wanted to have like my own thing, and he's still a part of it in the sense like I need help packing, I need help unpacking, I need help
right. And he's giving the spousal support instead of
and he's just an incredible partner that even though he's not on paper a part of the business, it couldn't run without him. So we're a great team.
That's awesome.
That's great.
Thank you.
Okay. So, do you mind talking about your kids? You guys mentioned them a little bit.
Yeah.
Are they younger, older?
Yeah, I'm juggling everything with a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old in sports at the same time. I'm in my soccer mom era. Wish I wasn't though.
Yeah, you get it over with now.
Yeah, no, I've got one that loves it and the other that doesn't. But it's rained every Saturday, so it doesn't really matter.
Oh my God, it was like the worst weather.
Games are canceled continuously, weekend after weekend. But I do love seeing them enjoy the sports that they want to partake in. This is our first time having both in the same sport. So my youngest is really loving it, but he's only had one practice in game because of the weather. And it's like pulling teeth with my oldest to get there. But he loved baseball. So we're just going to go back to baseball.
Go back to
go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
So I'm just reminded me. So my daughter just turned 17, but when she was, how old are they when they start? Like 5 or 6?
Yeah.
Me and her dad at the time when we were married, we we actually met because we played soccer in college. He was the guys team, I was the girls team. So we were like both very into sports, very competitive, all sports. So we're like, all right, we have a kid now. We're going to get them into sports. It's going to be great. He's like, I'm going to be the coach. He's like all excited. She knows my daughter.
I'm envisioning her on this soccer field.
She was born, like I will say, she was born with like fashion and glitter in her veins. Like she went to kindergarten the first day and she was crying. And I'm like, oh my God, are you so sad to leave me? She's like, you wouldn't let me wear a bra and high heels and I look ridiculous. Like, okay.
Yep,
So anyway, we bring her to soccer.
Yep.
It was the rain reminded me of it. Every single game that rained, she cried. She wouldn't get out of the car.
Yep.
She cried because she wanted to wear bracelets and like jewelry. She would stand in the middle of the field and twirl her hair and cry until he took her out. And he'd be like, why are you crying? And she'd be like, I want to talk to my friends. So we got her through like the first season. We're like, I don't think we're ever going to be the sports parents.
No, it doesn't seem like it. But hey, whatever they're into.
No, she's her own person.
Yeah.
They all are.
That's why I don't pressure it. With my oldest not really loving it, you've committed to this, so we're going to finish the season.
That's what we were.
Let's not do this again. Can we be on the same page?
Right. Like, don't come to me 3 weeks after and go, I really want to play soccer again next year.
We'll just go pass the ball in the backyard next time.
Yep. We do that. We're struggling. So my daughter's 7 and daughters are completely different than boys.
Wait, did you have a boy and a girl?
No, two boys.
Okay.
Yeah. You are so lucky.
Pure chaos. I tell everyone all drama, no dresses. It's the same thing to me.
But like the drama's different.
Yeah.
The drama's different.
The pitch is different.
The pitch is different. It's different. So we're going through like the same thing. And I don't know if I told you, but we signed her up for basketball.
Oh, she's got the height.
But she is not coordinated in anything whatsoever.
She's got like that like skinny, like gangly thing going on still.
She thinks that she knows everything. Like there is no like, she's like, I know it. I already know everything. And I'm like,
does not change.
Right. It doesn't change. But I'm like, I can only imagine what we're going to go into basketball season doing.
Yeah.
Because we tried ballet. We tried dance. We tried a couple of things through COVID. It was really hard. I mean, through COVID to get them into things. And they were right at that age of trying to try all those things. But she loves karate, but she doesn't like to go to karate at the studio. She only likes to do it in like the after school program.
Yeah.
So it's so hard.
Yeah. Juggling, running a business, plus kids, plus a partnership, plus all this stuff. It's hard.
It's hard.
Things.
It's hard.
It's so hard.
I was going to ask you, so what is your favorite thing about bar versus real estate and like the hardest?
The hardest is just the constant juggle. I have been super fortunate. Thank you, Jesus. That and the weekends where I'm still working with buyers and sellers, it's just like lining up that I don't have an event that weekend. And like, thank God. I don't. Because there's so much.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry, what was the question? What was my favorite?
Oh, so like what's the best and the worst of like bartending versus real estate? Not bartending, I'm sorry, the bar business.
The bar business.
Yes.
So the best part, I love it all. I really do. I'm still so new into it that I don't have any like complaints about it, that I'm just constantly learning. The juggle is the hardest part.
Which is the same.
It's the same thing, no matter what business I'm starting or in or whatever, it's like I still have so much other stuff that I do that I don't know. Al's looking at us.
We just look back at him and like turn back and if he's not throwing,
I'm not far enough. Do the two fists.
Only one fist.
I don't have anything that I don't like about it. It was just a matter of taking my time back and knowing that if I have a Sunday off, no one's going to call me and ask me to go see a house when I already have plans.
So you have your schedule lined up.
Yeah. Or like if I wanted to go sit at the soccer field and watch the game, I don't have to go host an open house or something. And I'm very fortunate to be in the situation that if I did have an event and a client asking to go see something or go over something, like Nico's there to take on that role for me. And that's the expectation that I've set starting this, is that I'm not going anywhere. But at the same time, my time is stretched right now and I'm not as available as I once was, but Nico is very much so.
That works out. Yeah.
How do you find, how do you find your clients reacting to kind of you taking the step back, but still being involved?
I was so cautious of that in the beginning. Like when I first started, like had this idea for this business, I was so worried that because I was the forefront of all the marketing and like the networking and stuff, because that's where I thrive, is connecting with people and putting pretty things together on the internet as far as content and everything, that I was like, okay, I don't want to freak people out that like we're Home Selling Homes is dissolving, because we're not going anywhere. It's just changing. So just putting,
I think the way you just said it is perfect.
That's
though.
it.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Just putting my faith in each other, and that who's going to stick around is who's meant to, and who's going to come through is meant to.
People work with who they like.
Yeah,
you know?
that's
and
it.
now you have a second layer to it that they're going to trigger, like, oh, we liked you as a real estate agent. And now you have this second thing that people that buy homes need. So when they do parties or whatever.
Parties,
We love all types of parties.
Yeah. No, I feel like it works. Because people always are like, how did you get into mortgages? Like, how does that relate to like other things you've done? And I'm like, it's the same thing. It's people work with who they like, and you have to know how to talk to people in high pressure situations, same as the bar business or the restaurant business or event planning, all of it. It's all like the same skills. People just think that like they're very different, and I don't think they're different at all.
I agree. I don't think so either. Okay.
I don't know what's happening.
We're just signaling. Don't worry.
We're signaling weird things. Lost myself. We'll cut this out.
It's okay.
Oh yeah, we were just talking
How
about
do
like
I sound? Do I sound good?
Al likes the voice. Anyway, so what else do you guys do for fun, like as a family or as a couple? Like, what else do you like to do besides real estate and your business?
We do a lot of hanging around the house. I love being in the house.
I'm a homebody.
Yes, I do. Things that we like to do, we just love spending time together and like being outdoors. Anytime that it's not raining, we're either in the backyard, the front yard, going for a walk. We live in a beautiful area, walking on the beach, and then just also eating. I eat a lot of food.
Yeah.
So
okay, what do you like? Food?
All of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All of it. But we just celebrated our 8-year wedding anniversary.
Congratulations.
So thank you.
That's like a big deal.
It
Especially
felt
now.
good. We put a lot of pressure on, not like pressure, but we were like excited for last year. Last year was our 7-11, so like 7 years married, 11 years together.
Oh,
so we were
that's cute.
It was great until we got into an accident on our anniversary, and then it just like then we like forced ourselves to continue with our plans, and then like Nico's walking around with a broken hand.
Oh my god! It's like the show must go on.
It's like we're not gonna let this damper our days in a swing.
You just go to the hospital and get out.
Yeah, get out.
Can you just
figure
Let me know when I gotta pick you up.
Yeah, we got stuff to do here.
We did it like that. So, but
that's awesome.
As we were going onto this dining train, it's right out of Portsmouth, Rhode Island. It's called the Bellevue Grand, or the Grand Bellevue. And it was great. It was like it forced you to be like in the moment, because you're on this moving train. There's like nothing else to do, and like usually we're pretty quick because that's just like how we roll. But it was really cool, and I enjoyed it. So eating is a big part of what we do outside of real estate and events, because you're so social in both of these industries that like when I just can sit in silence, and like silence is still listening to my kids' iPads and then play or whatever else.
Yeah, but it's different.
Yeah, it's different. Where like I can just like be home.
That's funny. Like it's like, well, today's Thursday. No, today's my night. I have nothing to do for the first time in like weeks.
Feels good.
And I'm picking up my daughter after this, and I was like, oh, it's gonna be nice to just like let her do her thing. I'm gonna do my thing. We're gonna hang out, but not hang out. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Like I'm wicked excited for it.
So does this mean that I can't text you with all of the bullshit I normally?
Oh no, you can text me.
Good.
That's just part of it. But yeah, I totally agree.
Right.
And not to like bring up COVID again, but like I feel like I wasn't like that before COVID, and COVID was like really hard with the staying in the house and all that stuff. But like since then, I'm like, I totally love being home. And I don't know if it's just I'm getting old also.
No, I've always loved being home. It's like my safe space, like I can just like do whatever I want, say whatever I want.
It is the safe place,
you know, that it feels good to be home to me. And like home, even though I'm like saying I'm a homebody and everything, it's like as long as like I'm in the neighborhood, just hanging, like I'm good,
Well, I think with like extroverted, I think our jobs are all extroverted, right? And you get like run out. Because you have to turn it on all the time. Like I do. Actually, no, I do. I know I have a call at 6:30 with bars, and I'm like, all right, I gotta like turn it back on. You know what I mean? Because we're always available, whatever time they can do it. But like in my mind, it's like, oh, that would have been like my downtime, but I gotta shift it back on, kind of thing.
There's nothing worse than, I think, and maybe you can relate to it, than having clients in the morning or hosting an open house, and then having a 4-hour window of nothing to do, and then having to go back out and meet clients again, or have clients call, or like I'm the biggest introverted extrovert there is. Like
Yeah.
when my tank is empty, and so having to like turn it back on so quick, or go from one open house to another open house, or an open house directly to showings,
sure.
it's so exhausting. Like
Yeah.
love it all and wouldn't change it for anything, but it definitely depletes the tank really quick.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. Being on all the time is definitely hard.
Yeah.
So I agree.
All right. So what is the best way for people to reach you if they want to reach out and I guess real estate or for the bar service?
Well, today I definitely just want to focus on the Wandering Poor.
Perfect.
Okay.
Love
And
that.
my website is the best way to get in touch with us. I've designed it to be easily set up. So you go over to the Book With Us tab, and then you give me like all the information I need. And then I put together a custom proposal for you. So we do a ton of different services. That it's not just beer and wine. We've done just mocktail events, so no alcohol whatsoever.
That's like a big thing now, I feel like.
Yes, and it's here to stay. We're actually hosting a mocktail class on October 25th with Angela from Bloomback Flowers that we sold out. So that was great.
That's awesome.
And mocktails are such an important part of the bar scene that I knew going in that I always wanted to have non-alcoholic options on the bar, like any menu that we create. So that way people always feel welcomed when they come over and like not weird of like, hey, do you have something non-alcoholic? Like, yes, girl. And it looks beautiful too. Enjoy
it's
it.
like having like
That's
a vegan
awesome.
or like a gluten-free option with food. Like it takes away the uncomfortableness.
Yeah. So
of having to ask.
So having that has been like so well received by everyone. Like even from our first event where I'm like over prepared for everything, and having like a select few come over, it just made me feel good that we had an option for them.
Yeah.
That wasn't a Negroni.
It's going to make you stand
whatever.
out too.
Yeah.
For sure. Because I feel like everyone doesn't have that. For sure.
Thank you.
Anyway, so so your website is, sorry.
Yes, it's thewanderingpoor.com. And you can find out all the information of how our services work, what packages we have, and how we can curate something specific to your event's needs.
Okay, cool.
Perfect.
And then what do you have for social? Instagram?
I got it all, girl. I got it all. You can
Tell
find
them
me
what
on
it is so they can follow
Facebook,
you.
Instagram, TikTok, at The Wandering Poor.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks for coming. This was great.
Thank you so much. I
Thank you.
appreciate you both.
All right.
Awesome.
Episode 32.
Down.
Over and out. Bye.
That was it.